Alright guys, we're going to be talking about Malignant. Malignant is James Wan's newest film, and it's actually an original idea by James Wan and I think another person named Akella Cooper. I could be wrong, it could be somebody else. That's the name I remember. Um, this is just speculation. I think that this is, personally, I think this might have been a film that James Wan has wanted to do for a while. Um, but due to what this movie is, I feel like it would be a really hard movie to get made. It'd be hard to pitch this movie to a studio. So I think that this is a movie that he probably wanted to do for a while, but wasn't able to do until he's built up some notoriety in Hollywood and got money. And now he has more freedom to work on the projects he wants to work on. With that, all right, let's talk about it. Is this movie good? This movie is a very interesting movie. And I'm going to talk about the things I like about it. What are the things I like about this movie? I like that it's original. I think that there's going to be following people that really like this movie. Um, and I am just going to recommend that everybody sees it just due to the fact that it's original. And I want any movie that's original to do well, and because I want Hollywood to get the message that we want more original content. We would love some more original content. I am very, very tired of remakes. So I'm all for movies like this. It's an original idea, it's different, and I like that. Did I love this movie? No. Would I ever watch this movie again? Probably not. It wasn't my favorite. There's one scene in this movie, and I think that's what everybody's going to remember. And if I had to put it on a list, I could see it on a Watch Mojo list, where it would be like mediocre movies with one really great scene that saves it from being forgettable. That's kind of how I think of this movie. I don't think it's doing anything that great. It has one scene in it that I think everybody's going to remember. And to me, was the scene the greatest thing in the world? I don't really think so, personally. Like, yeah, it's cool. It's fine. And I think that's what people are going to remember. So that was supposed to be things that I liked about it, and I kind of just dumped all over it. But I really actually do think that people should watch this movie, and I really do appreciate it for it being original. The things that I kind of have a problem with, when this movie first started, you get a feeling of exactly what kind of movie it's going to be, the kind of tone that it sets. And sometimes it likes to play with that tone, and sometimes it can be a little bit too serious, like it's taking itself a little too serious for the actual horror content that's in it, because the idea is really silly, okay? And it's very campy, and it was trying to do like a throwback to like 80s, like these 80s camp horror. But I just feel like he kind of missed it. Personally, I feel like James Bond kind of missed it. Like I missed the mark on it. Sometimes it works, and then sometimes it just doesn't. Like the tone just kind of goes back and forth. And I understand, like in a movie like this, you have to keep some seriousness to it to make it work. But I think maybe the reason why this one, to me, just doesn't work as well is because those camp films, those campy films from like from the 80s and stuff, they're they're um they're usually really low budget. And this movie's not really that low budget. And so like when you're watching those low budget like campy films, your unique funny idea, and since it's so low budget, the acting's weird. Everything's just a little bit tilted, you know? And so everything's just a little tilted. And when everything's tilted, it works. But this movie, some things are straight, some things are tilted, and it's just a little bit off for me. That just personally, that's how I think. Some of the suspense is good, like in some of the scenes. The rest of the movie, it just doesn't come off as that scary. And maybe I was wanting something a little scarier. Kind of have a little bit of a problem with the characters. The characters aren't like the best. They're they're pretty bland. One of the one of the detectives in it, it looks like a freaking discount Freddie Prinze Jr. So there's that. He was okay. I don't mind him. They try to set up a romance with him and Kakoa. His last name's like Kakoa, like in the movie. His name's Kakoa or something like that. And they try to kind of have a romance between him and the main character, Madison's sister. And it's just kind of weird. It's kind of off. There's just little things in it where it just, to me, it just didn't work. But I still appreciate it. I still think that it's memorable. I think it's worth watching, especially if you're like a horror fan, just for that one scene. There's some movies if you like horror, you kind of just have to watch some movies one time, even if you kind of hate it. Like everybody has that movie that everybody loves that's supposed to just be this classic that you're just like, like, well, whatever. But you still have to watch it, you know? So I think that people should watch this movie. I do think that it's original. I think that it's memorable because of that one scene. The characters aren't going to be like, the characters aren't going to probably stay with you. But I don't really think I don't think they were trying to do that, honestly. I think for what it is, it's fine. I think he hit the mark a little bit, but this movie is original. It's fine. It's good. Out of a 1 out of 10, I'd probably give this movie like a 5. Tell me what you guys think. If you would want a spoiler review for this, you can let me know. Alright, well, I'm done with this video. So, I mean, you guys just keep watching movies.